alcohol never was my thing. So I felt like I wasn't an alcoholic. I was only a drug addict. But when you go into Narcotics Anonymous,
it's all
you
the
got to
same,
stay 100% clean. You got to stay away from alcohol.
Well, I
any
noticed
kind of
here,
drug.
and I mean, they always throw it out there. I don't know how medically true it is, but they always say for some reason, like, they tried to say marijuana. I don't see how. But alcohol, really good gateway to a lot of stuff, right? Takes your inhibitions away from it, right? You're not as scared when you're on alcohol. Like if somebody came to you and said, hey, let's do a bump of cocaine and you're sober, you might not do it. But
Listen.
if you're a little drunk, you're in the mood and the music's bright, you might, all right, fuck it, give it to me.
The first thing I did, obviously.
Do you
growing
feel it's a
up,
gateway?
is alcohol.
Do you feel it's a gateway?
No, not alcohol is not. I don't
you think
believe
it helped you?
alcohol is a gateway to using hard drugs.
Doc, what do you think?
Alcohol could be a
What does the
gateway to
stats
you
say
being
from
an
the top of
alcoholic.
your...
I mean, I don't know what the stats are.
How many of your patients said they started with alcohol?
started heroin with alcohol?
Like they drank before they did heavy drugs?
Probably everybody.
Most of my patients that got started on heroin got started from an injury, a back injury or something like that.
In
And
today's world,
yeah.
pills
Well, they started on pills, but that became too expensive.
that they got from their doctors, hospitals.
Right.
So it wasn't like they
crazy.
were going to look to become a junkie and start shooting heroin in their arms.
Yeah, no, they started. We caused it. It's what they call iatrogenic, means caused by doctors. I mean, it's caused by the whole health system. We should have known better. China fought a civil war over this stuff. I mean, it's not.
I mean,
it's not
it was
marijuana.
called the Opium Wars. I mean, they lost Hong Kong for a while.
Exactly.
Right?
This
So
stuff topples empires like the Byzantine Empire.
they actually made it punishable by death because of how much of a grip it had on the population of China.
And what did
back
we
then.
do? We flooded the market with opium, and now we're
A
like,
legal
well,
version of it.
I wonder why we have an opioid crisis. Well, we kind of created it, you know.
Well, now it's. I think the opioid crisis now is worse
Then in your
than
time,
what it was back then. Back then, they put you in a rehab or they locked you up. Now, it's an OD type deal. It's simple as that. I mean,
people are dropping like I've lost a few friends.
well, fentanyl. And
I don't want to
again,
mention their names, but
pushing fentanyl.
it's a really big problem right now.
There are ways to, you know, we have things that are better than methadone now. We have Suboxone and stuff like that, you know. Helps people get their lives back if it's
What
used
about
correctly.
there's a
Does it really though?
substance called kratom that a lot of people are using that say it helps
Yeah,
at the
that-
opioid centers, helps with the withdrawal. Is that true? To your
People-
knowledge?
People swear, yes, it is.
Do you have any patients that have taken kratom to
Yes,
get off
absolutely.
of
There's different kinds of kratom. So there's kratom or kratom, however you want to call it.
kratom, kratom?
There's a green mung da, there's a red mung da, there's all different kinds, and different ones have different
Do you think it's a
effects.
godsend? Do you think it helps people get off heroin?
I think it helps people get off heroin, but that's not the only poor man's heroin that there is. The only poor man's opioid. I mean, there's also loperamide, which is Imodium, the antidiarrheal medication. That antidiarrheal medication, loperamide or Imodium that you can just get at the grocery store, is actually a full opioid agonist. The reason why it doesn't
From
get
the
you-
family, huh?
It absolutely. The reason it doesn't get you high is because you have a glycoprotein in your gut that prevents it from taking its full action. However, addicts have cleverly figured out that if you take this with, let's say, white grapefruit juice, some cimetidine, which is Tagament, and maybe some quinidine or some other readily available things that are perfectly legal, you can absolutely get it to act like a full opioid. And if you do it, you absolutely will get high. I mean, of course, not encouraging anyone
Please.
to do this,
So
but this is what people do.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm
People are
sitting
doing
here-
this to detox themselves on their own from heroin.
So you're telling me that there's like a hack for that?
There's a hack for that, and people use it to detox. Yeah,
I'm sure it's already on the internet. public
it's all over the
information.
internet. There's nothing
All right,
new.
Doc, we're not here to inspire. We're
Yeah,
here
being
to,
out of
No, we're not here to inspire. This is
being
just what
out of the
people do.
range,
Yeah.
I have no clue of what you're talking about. Thank God. I'll say
Well,
it like that.
People do all sorts of funny things, you know.